Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit power, mercy and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to tap into some end time prophecy, man, the reality, all right, of the M.O.T.B. And as we take a step back, all right, and observe what's happening on the world stage, as we examine the movements of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white men in the form of the global elite through the tentacles that they're utilizing, like these global officials, the president, these PMs, whatever, what have you. We clearly see that they're setting up a system, all right, that's going to be technologically mainstream, all right? And this is a reality that it's not a figment of one's imagination. Anyone that's well-to-do in finance knows that they're going digital with money. All right, this is something that they're transitioning into because, see, Evil E, all right, Evil E, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, he knows and clearly understands, all right, the world as we know it, the world as he knows it, all right, he must reset it, his little world, right, his space of time. He can no longer operate under the infrastructure, right, under the protocol, under the orders that he's been operating under, being that he's out of time. All right, that type of setup, all right, has been maximized, man. You see, in efforts for Esau to continue on, all right, he has to go digital, right? And the scriptures highlight this reality, all right? This is why Revelations 13 and 16 is written. All right, that's the next step that the heathen take in the form of Evil E, right, in efforts to prolong his reign of terror, man. And this is the reality. And I got an article, that I got on behalf of the beloved brother Araya, the brother in the camp. He sent it on the camp chat, the Wada Akia for that. Going into an article, and is going into the reality of the biometrics, all right, that they're establishing throughout these various shopping centers, right? And this one specifically, this is Wegmans out of New York. All right, but you can imagine these cameras that are set up all over these light posts, and when you're walking around the city and going in and out of different establishments, you already know Esau's already utilizing biometrics, right, to isolate you people, man, in efforts to fortify his digital system he plans on bringing forth. All right, and as a matter of fact, real quick, let's go here real quick, right? I want to get this word biometrics. Right, but before we do, let me get this precept real quick. Because we got to set the tone. We got to lay the foundation down with a precept. This is the book of 2nd Esdras. Chapter 9 and verse 20, and it reads, "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it." So it says, so I considered the world. Whose world? Evil E's world. All right, because Evil E's world is the only world that doesn't have peril. right? We're living in an evil time, right? And it says what? Behold, there was peril, right? Because of the devices that were come into it. And we know devices is talking to, plans and plots, a mindset, right? A thought. But guess what? Through Esau's plans and plots, he's going to bring forth digital devices, man. And I'm, playing on words, through the spirit. He's going to bring forth digital devices, man. Right? In the form of that M.O.T.B. That's the plan at the end. Right? Because that establishes Esau as a god, man. All right? That establishes him, that will establish him as a god. And if he's able to chip everybody, right? If he's able to chip the elect everybody, right? In his mind, he wins. But what he doesn't realize is that even the elect that are martyred, okay, are still sealed to take part in the first resurrection. Prophecy's still going to play out. Esau's still going to lose. And this is what escapes his mind. This is what he doesn't realize. You see? So he's trying to outsmart, the Most High by pretty much bringing forth this idolatrous image, right? Which is this RFID microchip, and putting it in everybody. And whoever doesn't want to comply, hey, you get ostracized, and ultimately you will end up dying anyway. If they don't get you, right? Because you're gonna be ostracized from the system. But what he doesn't realize, again, Romans 8, nothing can separate us from that glory that we're destined for. We're glory bound, Akiyam and Akwaf. Us as a nation, starting with the elect. The nation of Israel, starting with the elect, is glory bound, man. That's the title for a lesson, man. We're glory bound. Nothing Esau does is going to be able to restrict, stop, or change the reality of Israel, starting with the elect, being glory bound, man. Right? And this is a secret that we've been exposed to. We know this. We got the victory. No matter what. No matter how grim and how crazy and how spooky it's going to look on the earth through Esau's wickedness, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is coming and Israel's going to win. We're going to win, man. All right? Now check this out. And when you get this word, biometrics, right? Simple Google definition, AI overview, right? It says, biometrics, right, are unique biological or behavioral human characteristics like fingerprints, faces, or typing patterns used for automated identification and access control, bro. Acting as a strong security measure by replacing passwords with something you are. All right? This technology works by capturing a trait, creating a digital template, and comparing it to stored data. And right, this is how they use facial recognition, which we know their facial recognition technology makes hella mistakes. I did a lesson on that maybe like a couple weeks ago, maybe, regarding a couple individuals that got falsely identified, man. Ended up having a whole criminal record based off of false identification via facial recognition. Okay? And yeah, man, this technology is flawed. Here it is. Esau's gonna be standing on this technology like a god. That's where you get that word Robotheism, which we'll tap into that later, Lord willing. Okay? But here it is. There's flaws in this technology, man. Okay? Because he's flawed. He's flawed. All right? There's no way he can bring forth a god, man. But in his mind, he thinks he can. But check this out. This technology works by capturing a trait, creating a digital template, and comparing it to stored data, offering high security and convenience for tasks from unlocking phones to immigration vetting, but raises privacy concerns about data use, bro. Of course, bro, because at the end of the day, this allows them to surveil you. This opens them up to the floodgates of surveillance, man. And this is the reality behind what they're doing. and what they're pursuing. You see? Now, real quick, I want to get this, and we're not ignorant of this, man. Through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, right? We are not ignorant. Let me get this. Let me get that real quick. And we grabbed it last night, and we're gonna grab it again. And these precepts don't run out of ammo. You know, for you faithful, hopeful elect, you clearly know and understand that, man. You never get sick of hearing these precepts come on. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, and it reads, lest Satan shall get an advantage of us. And Satan, this is talking to Esau, Edom. All right, the self-proclaimed white man. Because remember, when you go to 2 Thessalonians, let me jump there real quick. And we know, but I'm going to pull it. When you go to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, it tells us what? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, right, and verse 7, and it reads, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, and the mystery of iniquity is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, this is why this place is coined as Mystery Babylon the Great. It's been a mystery who the wicked is, man. It's been a mystery who's been hiding in the dark, right, in the corners of the earth, you know, causing all this mischief throughout the planet. All right, but now it's been known, it's been found out. Look, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth, will let, until he be taken out of the way. The Lord's letting this guy, he was letting Esau be mysterious and hidden. Right? But now we're in a time where the Lord's exposing this guy. Evil is no longer a golden cup in the Lord's hand in the form of Babylon the Great. You see? He's being exposed now. And then shall that wicked be revealed, see? And this would happen at the end. This would happen now. Okay? Upon prophets being raised up in Babylon, bro. Upon the Lord turning to the great men. Lord willing, we them. Right? And shedding the light on evil E through this gospel, bro. Via inquisition. Right? Where the divine judges in the form of the prophets will bring forth the testimony on this dude, man. All right? And there'll be nowhere for him to run, and there'll be nowhere for him to turn. He'll be in a position where he's being victimized. He's being called out for all his atrocities, man. He's got questions to answer. He's being interrogated now. All right? That will be the position he will be in. And one thing with an individual that's a narcissist, they don't want to be questioned, man. All right? They don't want to answer questions, man. They want to control the narrative, lie, all right, and lead the charge of wickedness, bro. You see? But now we're in a time where evil is being challenged. His philosophy is being challenged. His narratives are being challenged, man. His lifestyle, right? His decision-making, all of it's being challenged, bro. His so-called education is being challenged. And he doesn't like that, man. But this is the time of his revealing. This is part of him being revealed. We've come to the conclusion with being exposed to this light, right, which is this word, that evil E, the self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, you are not all that. And you damn sure don't got the highest IQ. All right, that's all part of your social construct narrative you created to make yourself seem like you are of superior roots. But I couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth, man. All right, let's continue on. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the servants, the prophets, bro, the mouthpiece, Amos 3 and 7. The men of the Lord, they're going to bring it out on you, man. You know, that's the spirit of the Lord's mouth, man. The prophets. Right, continuing on. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the chronological order is you're going to be revealed. The men of the Lord are going to be calling you out for all your atrocities. You see? And then the Lord is going to come repay you for what you have done at the end of the day. Right? Even him, who? Evil E. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Even him. Okay? And this is that same him that's coined as he in Revelations 13 and 16 that's going to cause all right? Small and great, rich and poor, free and to receive a what? You already know. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan. See? With all power and signs and lying wonders. So when we go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, lest Satan shall get an advantage of us. This is talking to evil E. He's coming after the workings of Satan, man. For we are not ignorant of his devices. All right? We're not ignorant of this dude's plans and plots and evil schemes. All right? When he tells you that he's doing it, you know, when he tells you, when he draws up a scenario, right, that looks wicked as ever, and he's telling you he's doing it in the name of health. But here it is, you done whipped up a recipe within a month that usually takes years to come up with to fight some type of V. But you're telling me, okay, that you done isolated a global scamdemic, bro, with some serum in about a month? You know this nigga's lying, man. You see that? But look it again. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, though. The Wadi Halabashim shot for the spirit. Look, now this is natural news, right? Let me get this first article. Well, the only article I have. But we'll be getting into some other stuff as well, Lord willing, right? Natural news, right? This is data. And again, this is courtesy of the beloved brother, my beloved brother Araya. You know, if you're watching Aki at the Wada Aki Halabashim shot Barakatah, he put it up on the camp chat. And then, actually, I seen you, but I'm not going to hold you. I seen you do your lesson yesterday going into the article. And that inspired me to hit on it, too, through the spirit. You know? But needless to say, it's dated January 6, 2026. And the title reads, Data Harvesting at the Grocery Store, right? Look at Wegmans and NYC now scanning all customers in the name of safety, bro. Okay, they're saying it's in the name of safety. All right, but we just went into what biometrics is going into, right? Where they're able to collect your data and utilize it for technological means, right? As far as access control and identification, right? And honestly, with them doing that, they pretty much, you just allowed them, that's a data breach for the powers that be. They're allowed now to pretty much, they got access to you, man, in the most intimate way. Now check this out. It says what? In the name of safety, bro. And we know what scripture says about that. When they shall say peace and safety, right, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. Let's get a couple of these pressure points here in the article. It reads this, right? It says Wegmans grocery stores in New York City have begun collecting and storing customers' biometric data, including facial scans. Okay, it's not a talking point as far as they might do it. They're considering. No, they begun doing it. Okay, they begun doing it. Look, the policy is an expansion of a 2024 pilot program that initially promised to delete shopper data. A 2021 NYC law requires businesses to post signs about biometric collection, but lacks a direct enforcement mechanism, meaning what? There's specific establishments and businesses, and we mentioned these light poles that got cameras on them. They're doing more than just watching you and surveilling you. No, they're collecting biometric data off you, bro. This is what's happening, man. Because this is what the transition looks like via this nigga's 6G system that he's planning on bringing forth in the form of these 15-minute cities, man. I believe they call them G5 cities, man. If I'm not mistaken, that's another term they use. All right, this is what's going down, bro. All right? This nigga's technological advancements are in progression. All right, this nigga's building data centers all over the place, you know, which is part of the infrastructure for this system that he's bringing forth. This is happening, okay? While you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans think this is a game, and you think we're just out here playing around, playing dress up. You know, like we ain't got nothing to do on the weekend, you know, or throughout the week. All right, this is happening. All right, and for you, Jake, out there, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American, that think this is a game, or you're taking this thing for entertainment. You know, here it is. You started teaching, and now you just stop. You know, now you just want to sit back and listen, and make excuses why you're not pursuing the plow. Listen, man, hey, you fall victim. You're gonna fall victim with the unbelievers, man. All right, hey, the Lord is doing this thing, man, and it's about to turn. This thing's about to go draconian, man. Because evil E, he's hell bent. All right, he's forcing his hand now. All right, and you see what Trump did with the modern day Chaldeans he got around him in the form of them technocrats and their pursuit to these data centers. He's pretty much gave power to these AI companies or whatever, or what have you, right? To bring forth these data centers, man. Hell with these city states, you know, as far as like the city hall, whatever. It don't matter what they say. Hey, and we gotta build there, and efforts to make this shit reach and communicate. We building right here. You see, the horns are showing now. Why? Esau is running out of time. He don't got time to play. You see, and nor do we. Right? That's why we're bringing it out on them. Check it out. Right, continue on. The practice raises significant privacy and civil liberty concerns, particularly regarding data security and potential bias. Proposed legislation to ban such collection in NYC has stalled. Why? We just told you. Because Trump said, nigga, shut that shit up. We're going to do what we got to do. And he signed an exact bill. I forgot what the name of it is. But it pretty much gives these companies leeway to build at will, where they want. Right? Right? Leaving regulatory gaps. Let's get a little more. In the heart of the NYC, a routine trip to the grocery store now involves transaction far more personal than money for food. Wegmans, the popular supermarket chain, has quietly expanded a program to collect and store the biometric data, including facial recognition scans of every customer who walks into its Manhattan and Brooklyn locations. You think they're the only ones that are doing that? Again, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Do you think Wegmans is the only one doing that? They're isolating New York and Brooklyn and whatever. Do you think they're the only ones doing that? No, it's happening everywhere we are in Babylon the Great. You better believe this. All right? And all over the world, obviously. But Babylon the Great, it's not just happening on NYC. No, this is a very isolated article. But again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know this nigga's doing this all over. It's without a doubt. You see? Because again, he's in the process of bringing forth, all right, this digital renaissance. This nigga's not playing, bro. All right, now he's secretly he's just doing it now. You know? So we're walking into, he's getting our biometrics, bro. They're pulling them. They're pulling them, bro. And this is why when you go to, what's that, Ezekiel 28. Speaking of the Prince of Tyrus, it says what? He's wiser than day. There's no secret that you can hide from him. Right? And Esau's like it unto the Prince of Tyrus. Through this technology, this nigga's able to surveil, bro, and spy. And this is all part of surveillance. Data. They need data. You heard them talking about that at these World Economic Forum meetings, man, or what have you. Data. They need data. It's all about data. Right? So they can perfect, all right, this robotheism society, bro. Right? Let's continue on. This move, look at it. This move implemented in early 2026. It's only what, 10 days in? What do you mean in early 2026? So it's popping off, bro. They're doing it now, bro. Look, this move implemented in early 2026 under the banner of safety marks a significant escalation in corporate surveillance and tests the limits of a city law designed to provide transparency. All while proposed bans on the practice remain stalled, the expansion highlights a growing tension between security, commerce, and the fundamental rights to privacy in public spaces. That's all gonna be null and void. This is where we're going with this thing, man. Okay, this nigga's gonna go China out here, man. Okay, this cameras everywhere out there, in Russia too. But this is a global thing. And now Babylon's starting to step up their game and their surveillance scheme, bro, and bringing forth this new digital system, this worldwide, global digital system. Okay, this is what it's all about, right? This is what Esau's pushing for. This is what he's gunning for. Now, real quick, let me get this precept real quick that just hit. Bear with me. This is the book. Let me see here. Right, this is the book of let me see here. Isaiah chapter 32, right? And verse 7, and it reads, the instruments also of the churl are evil, right? And that word churl goes into a scoundrel, bro. And that's exactly what Esau is. This is talking to Esau, right? The instruments of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor, right? With lying words, right? Even when the needy speaketh right. And you hear what they're talking about in this article. They're saying what? They said what? Data harvesting at the grocery store, Wegmans and NYC now scanning all customers in the name of safety. Okay, those are lying words, bro. They're doing it in the name of surveillance, bro. And in the name of being able to pursue this new fourth industrial revolution, bro. This is all part of the transition. Esau being God and knowing every single body that's on this planet everywhere. You see? So they got to have your biometrics in order to do that. Now, real quick. What I want to do, right? Because again, all roads lead where? To the M.O.T.B. This is where this is going. Slakia. All right? This is where this thing is going. Now, when you go to the book, let me see here. Let's go to the book of Revelation. Let's get it. The book of Revelation, chapter 13. And we're going to start at verse 15. And it reads, right? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, right? So he, Esau, in the form of this revived Western Roman Empire, right? He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak. And they brought back all the ways of Western Rome, okay? From their structures to their war games, right? To their gladiator games, right? It's on the scene. It's here. You know? It's right here. It's right before us. The Senate, right? Democrats, Republicans. We always go into it, man. Plebeians and patricians. Right, the whole the whole way they get down with the president, how they vote the president in, that all goes back to Rome. You see? That all goes back to Rome, right? And now they're speaking draconian, right? They're bringing forth draconian measures. Check it out. That the image of the beast shall both speak, and he speaks through his laws, man. Right? Remember the law, the scriptures tell us that that's their strength. When you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, right? When you read Psalms, I think it's like Psalms, what is it, 94, if I'm not mistaken, they cause it mischief by Allah. See, and this is why you see Trump exhausted in the pen. You know, this is the reality of what the unrighteous decrees, bro. All right? It's how they're able to make this thing speak. Look, and causes many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed, bro. You see that? And that's a process. First and foremost, ostracization. All right, where you're cut off from society. If you don't join yourself onto this new digital system, you're not going to be able to move around within it. It's not going to be physically possible. This is why scripture says, let me get this real quick, as far as the hopeful elect are concerned, man. Let me get this real quick. This is why scripture says this right here. Let me get this real fast. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, the Wadi Yahabashim Yashai. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 40. And it reads, "Oh, my people." All right, the Lord speaking to his people. You see that? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, bro, the Israelites. Right? He says what? Starting with the elect. Right? Because we know, pursuant to Galatians 6 and 16, there's an Israel of God. All right? 2/3 of our people are looked at as what? Heathen. Because they're moving as a strange vine. They're joined unto the heathen, bro. You see? So look at, oh, my people. And this is end time prophecy. We're in 2nd Ezra. All right? The Apocrypha goes into eschatology, which is the study of the end time. This is what this is. This is the scene that is tapping into right here. Right? Look at, oh, my people, the elect of the nation of Israel. Hear my word. Okay? Hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth, bro. What's a pilgrim? A pilgrim is somebody that moves around. A pilgrim is nomadic. A pilgrim doesn't stay in one place, bro. They're nomadic. All right? As we once were, you know. But needless to say, this is how we're going to have to move. We're going to have to go back to our roots, bro. Because we're going to be in a time we're going to have to move around. We're not going to be able to stay stationary while this nigga establishes this damn wicked enterprise, man. You know, they're already talking about, as far as ICE agents are concerned, going from door to door. They're going to start going from door to door soon. Looking for Jake. You know? How much more, all right, when this thing is damn near fully digitized, bro? And they know they still got pockets of non-chipped or, anti-social. I'll say it like that. Come on, man. All right, and that's when that kill is gonna transition from ostracized, all right, to Revelations 20 and 4. You see, and that's the reality. Now, real quick. For edification, though, I want to get that word killed. I don't want to cut no corners, you know what I mean? Let's right, so when you get this word killed in the Greek, bear with me.
Strong's G615, apartino.
So apartino, right? And this is going to what? Look at all right. This is literally going into kill. Look at to kill in any way whatsoever, to destroy, to allow to perish, metaphorically, to extinguish, abolish, to afflict mortal death, right? To deprive or deprive spiritual life. Now, right, that's literally. So when you get the root,
Strong's G 575. Apa. Apa.
it goes into what? A separation, right? Local separation. Look at a separation apart from the whole. You see? Any kind of separation, right? Physical distance, separation, which is going into what? We ostracize. So that's what's going to take place first. The ostracization of individuals that don't want to get chipped up. All right? And then it's gonna the rage of Esau is gonna climax, man. He's gonna want to clean up. He's gonna go around and clean up the system. You know, you can't have anyone not chipped up, wiggling around, right? So check it out. So going back, right, to Revelation 13. So see, he's gonna come down with great wrath, bro. Look at Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he, Esau, bro, the mystery of iniquity. All right, and he causeth all, both small and great, right, old and young, right, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, bro, right? And this mark, we'll touch on it. Let's just go, right? For edification, this is going to, I got a little bit of time. So this mark goes into the word charagma. Listen.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Right? Charagma, right? Biblical usage, it goes into a stamp, right? An imprinted mark. All right? It's subdermal. It goes under the skin. It's got to have to go under the skin. It's physical. All right? It's not spiritual. Right? Look it. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach. There's more than one anti-Mashiach. There's many, as the scriptures tell us. Right? But it does show your allegiance, though, you know, to Esau, if you get it. Look at the mark branded upon horses, which shows ownership. Right? Why would you brand your horse? Just show that horse is mine. I'm going to put my initials on that horse. That's my horse, man. So if you come across my horse, right, and they got my initials on it, you know that's my horse. So if I find my horse in your stalls, you stole my horse, man. You know me, right? My horse done got away. You got my horse. I come see you. My horse is in your stall. You stole my horse, man. So what I'm saying is, it shows ownership. You see that? And that's what Esau's gunning for. You see? Esau's on that Mortal Kombat. Your soul is mine, bro. That's what Esau's on. Look it. Things carved, sculpture, graven work. Gotta go under the skin. It's subdermal. Underdermal skin. It's under the skin. Look it. This is money right here. Look it. Of idolatrous images, bro. All right. This thing is an idolatrous image. Why? Because Esau is going to make a god out of it, bro. He's made a god out of AI technology, bro. Which is where you get what? Robotheism. All right, this is transhumanism, is what he's pushing. If he's able to put this device in everybody, bro, that's where you get the term robotheism. Let me get that real quick. And when you get this word, this term, or the meaning or what have you, let me see something. Let me see here. Hold on. All right, robotheism, AI overview. Right, it reads. Robotheism is a speculative, this ain't speculative, but listen, robotheism is a speculative belief system or worldview. And I love how they mention worldview because this is going to be a global thing, right? Right, that posits artificial intelligence as divine, godlike, or otherwise worthy of religious reverence and worship, right? Let me read that again. Robotheism is a speculative, it's saying speculative belief system or worldview that posits artificial intelligence as divine, godlike, or otherwise worthy of religious reverence and worship. And this is not speculative. Okay? This is far from speculative. Didn't Noah Harari say that AI was gonna rewrite the Bible? Okay? What does that mean? If AI rewrites the Bible, isn't AI some type of a divine source? They're placing AI technology on godlike standards, bro. All right, robotheism, man. This is what Esau's bringing. This is why when you read, again, this is why the scriptures highlight, right? In the blue letter, right, charagma, Revelations 13:16, under biblical usage, this device is likened unto what? An idolatrous image. Okay? Idolatrous image, bro. They're gonna make this thing into a god, bro. Okay? Remember, they're talking about how they'll be able to cleanse the leper, right? Heal the blind, right? You'll be able to see if you can't. You'll be able to talk if you can't, right? You see what they're doing with this Neuralink? But here it is. This nigga's in a whole wheelchair, right? Can't even scratch his nose if he had to, but he can play a game with his mind through a Neuralink chip, right? And they're calling that a miracle. You see? Which is people are going to worship this technology, man. They're turning it into a god, right? Which is a capital offense for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans if you decide to bow down to it. And you better believe, pursuing the Revelation 14, you're going to catch one of the most grievous judgments, bro. You're going to catch one of the most grievous judgments, man. You see? The scripture said you're going to dwell in torments. You know what that means, man? We're playing with omnipotent power. I'm sorry, we're not playing. I meant to say you're playing. Excuse me. You're playing with an omnipotent power, man. For you jakes out there that are taking this thing lightly and think that this is some type of play. Right? Let's go back to Revelations and continue on. Because it's going to get very interesting. Right? Continuing on in Revelations 13 and 16 again. And he, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, causeth all, both small and great, right? Old and young, right? Rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, a charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. You see? And it can go in either hand, pursuing the Revelations 14. It don't matter what hand you get it in. It doesn't matter where you get it. You can try to white yaquab the Lord. If you get this thing, you done bow down to the system, bro. And you worship the beast, his image, and everything that comes with it. And you done committed a capital offense. You see, the first commandment is what? Put no power before the Lord, bro. Come on, man. You out of there, man. Right? And in their foreheads, the Neuralink, all right, which is on the scene. It's here. You see? It's literally on the scene. All right, let's get a little more. Watch this. This is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets undeniable. All right, for lack of better words. Religious reverence and worship. That's it. And we're only supposed to reverence and worship the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Anything outside of that, you're committing idolatry. And look at the state we're in today. The reason why we're so downtrodden and we fell from grace so high is because we wouldn't stop worshiping idols, man. You know, all you gotta do is go through the days of old, bro. Go through the book of Judges. Just go through the scriptures, man. We constantly went off, man. You know, and Jake's still going off to this day. They're doing worse than their fathers, man. You know, as scriptures tell us in Jeremiah. Right, let's continue on. I think that's Jeremiah 7. Right, let's continue on real quick. Right, and this is where it gets undeniable. All right, this is where it gets to a point where now, if you're denying what this is going into, you're leaning upon your own understanding at this point, because this is undeniable right here as far as what this mark is. and what you can't do and can do if you have it or don't. Revelation 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the charagma, the M.O.T.B, the RFID microchip, the device the size of a grain of rice. You can't buy or sell without it. It's linked, okay, to the economy. It's linked to economics. Telling us what? It's gonna be a digitally monetized advancement. Point blank, period. It's linked to money. Simple. This is plain. You can see it. It is what it is. That's straight up. You're not gonna be able to buy or sell without this thing, man. All right. Hence, how you're gonna end up being ostracized if you don't get it. Right. It ultimately kills for your defiance, man. Right. But we got the law. We ain't worrying about this dude. Look at or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which is synonymous, man. Because again, we always go into it on this device. All right, there's gonna be something called a UPC code, right, which is the Universal Product Code, which is on everything this nigga sells, which has 666 within it. Okay, right, and that's the point. And we could get to 18, but I'm gonna leave it right there. That's the point, bro. And this is what this nigga's concocting. This is what Esau's cooking up in the kitchen, in the digital kitchen. All right, and the masses are gonna fall for it, bro. And you stupid so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans outside of this truth, you know, because of your lack for the love of the truth, you're gonna be deceived, bro. You're gonna be deceived, man. But that's your destiny, though. You see, that's part of the story that's been written for you, man. All right, but we understand and know clearly what Esau's doing. Let me go here real quick. And he's gonna lose, man. Let's get a couple of precepts and we out of here, right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 21, and it reads, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that shall stand, bro. Why? Because at the end of the day, the Lord pondereth the man's steps, bro. All man's goings are of the Lord, man. He pondereth your steps, man. At the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is calculating, already has Esau's steps calculated. You know? He's already set up for the loss. You see that? And here it is. He's planning and plotting, and he got these think tanks going. You know? He got the brother Yashamata is funny, right? They got Trump working overtime. Trump looks like he didn't sleep for a week. You know? He's taking the load of what these elite are trying to get done. Right? Let me get another precept. We'll close out with this. Let's go to the book of Job real quick. Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 5. And this is why we ain't worrying about Esau, man. We're not worried about Esau. Right? Look at Job 5 and 12. Who's he? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Look at. He disappointeth. Man, let me see something real quick if I want to start up on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to start up. Call out Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The book of Job, chapter 5. I'm going to start up. In verse 8, and it reads this. I would seek unto power, and unto power would I commit my cause, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things, without number. Jumping down to verse 12, right? And our Lord is unsearchable, bro. He's from everlasting to everlasting, Yahweh is, man. His throne is inestimable, where even the hosts of heaven tremble before him, bro. Come on, let's go. Look at, jumping down to verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise, bro. All right? Evil schemes and plans and devices are not going to come to pass. All right? The Lord's going to smack the scepter out of his hand while he's eating, bro. Right? And the bow of steel is going to pierce him through. Evil E's on a losing tip. All right? Look it. Verse 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Right? The wicked are snared by the works of their own hand. Right? Hagion Selah. Look it. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, man. And the counsel of the froward is carried headlong, man. So at the end of the day, evil, he's gonna end up falling on his face, bro. He's gonna lose. He's on a bear with me. He's on a failed mission. Let me see what the brother got here. Shalom to you, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. On the comment board, I gotta go this way with it. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. To you, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. I'm gonna grab one from the beloved brother Yanaka, because he was going in. Let's grab one from the beloved brother. And Tawada Ak, I appreciate you, bro. Let's see here. I got to get ready for camp, so we pretty much got to close this out. Oh, that's beautiful. You got another definition of robotheism. Let's get it. So robotheism, what source is that, Malak, if I may ask? So robotheism is the belief that artificial intelligence is God. Right? Robotheism is a speculative belief. Oh, you must have got that from the etymology, I'm assuming? Right? Robotheism. Nah, that's not etymology. Let me know where you got that from, brother. I'm gonna have to put that in the I'm gonna have to put that in the suitcase, in the spiritual suitcase. Right? Robotheism is the belief that artificial intelligence is God. And that's capitalized for Yahweh, right? Robotheism is a speculative belief system or worldview that posts artificial intelligence as divine, godlike, or otherwise worthy religion's reverence and worship. Let me see something real quick. Alright, let me see what we got. Man, we can close out with that's fire. Hey, these precepts never get old. Let me see. I think I'm gonna get that. Let me see what else you got though. You put the law up there. Y'all Exodus 34 and 14, 144. Call y'all about Shemi Shai. Right? As a matter of fact, now we got to close out with this, bro. This is fire. We'll get Habakkuk chapter 2 from the beloved brother Yanaga, Israel Benjamin, 144:7. The Malak. I appreciate you, Akia. Right, the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. We'll get 3:2, and it reads, "And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it," man. Right. And the Lord has set up our table amongst our enemies, bro, and they can't stop this thing. You see? Until the elect is plain. See, it's plain unto the holy, but it's stumbling blocks to the wicked. So we see exactly what's going on here through the spirit and power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai through the Holy Spirit. You see what the prophets are bringing forth? The elect is picking up what the prophets are putting down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They've been given the ability, right? The spiritual inclination, for lack of better words, right? Right, it's plain to us, man. Right, check it out. And now we running with it, you know? All our eggs are in one basket. And we're willing to die for this thing, man. Understanding that the Lord, our power is faithful and true, bro. Death can't separate us from what we're, and that's a golden ticket home. Look at Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision, which is the prophecy, is yet for an appointed time. But at the end, which we're at, it shall speak, which it's speaking. And it shall not, Salakia. And it shall speak and not lie, right? Right, because again, our power is faithful and true, man. Look at, though he can't lie, right? Look at, though it tarry, wait for it, right? It may take a little bit, it may take a second. Wait for it, you gotta be patient, right? Which goes into suffering, right? Because it will surely come. It will not tarry, man. All right? It will not tarry. AI overview. Oh, was mine different from yours? Am I tripping? Let me check that definition. Let me check the Now, mine was a little bit different from yours, though, Malak. I appreciate that though. That's beautiful. Mine's generated a slightly different definition. Check it out. Mine under Robotheism, this is what mine says. Right? And you Aki Amanakwa can compare it to what's on the comment board, right? Look, Robotheism, this is what I got AI overview. Right? It says a speculative belief system or worldview that posits artificial intelligence, AI, as divine, godlike, or otherwise worthy of religion. It's close. It's close. It's close. I like the way yours is set up. It generated it a little bit different, you know, but it's all through the spirit. But hey, either way, hey, the water, I appreciate you, beloved Aki Amanakwa, the water for tuning in. Hey, the water for your precepts. Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Aki Amanakwa will edify. Hey, Lord willing, you were spiritually fed. And Abaratazah, you were informed, man. Hey, prophecy is moving. It's happening. We just got to stay locked in, stick to the mission, no side missions, as the beloved Elder Yashawamba says, man. Stick to the mission. You know, it's a straight gate. You know, we don't want to get caught up in no folly, man. Like, look at these guys, man. Look at these guys, man. That didn't stand on the foundation of Yahushai, bro. You know, and I'm not even gonna make mention of them. You Aki Amanakwa, that know, you know. You know. May Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai not allow us to fall victim to the spirit of apostasy, sellouts, or agents, man. Abaratazah, Lord willing. May the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai keep within us a clean heart. Okay, a clean mind, man. That word heart in the Hebrew is lab. May the Lord keep a clean mind in us, man. A clean spirit, man. And allow us to continue to be rebuked, reproved, corrected, directed, right? And allow us to continue to dwell within his courts, man. May the Lord not take his Holy Spirit from us, man. Psalms 51, man. We don't want that, man. And right now, we're almost there. The finish line is so close. It's so close, man. It's so close. You can see it. Look what's happening, man, on the world stage. All right, you have, real quick, before I go, you have, I might do a lesson on through the spirit. Now, the beloved Elder Yawakanan, he did a lesson on it earlier today. I think that brother's still live right now, live camp. But needless to say, the beloved Elder Yawakanan out of London, he did a video earlier today going into Trump's stance, you know, towards Greenland, and how they're going to take Greenland because it sets Russia and China up to pretty much be too close for comfort, you know, for lack of better words, from a warristic stance. You know, there's pretty much with America taking Greenland, it draws Russia and China more further away, right? But needless to say, you had the PM of Denmark. They gave the command to the military to shoot on sight any foreign military. All right, that's what been, yeah, look into it. You know, and if the Lord allows, I'll touch on that. Or even me, probably me and the beloved brother, my beloved brother Shakal, you know, we might do a lesson going into that on our way to camp. Lord willing, we'll see what the Spirit does. But either way, it's worth mentioning. But this is what's happening. Okay, the tensions of war, the rumors of war, you know, those rumors, you know, which goes into news, you know, this is happening. You know, we are so close to the heathen completely falling out. It's unreal, because that fallout coincides with our salvation. You see? Our warfare is accomplished, Aki Amanakwa. We almost there, man. Hey, stay prayed up, fast as well as prayed. I want to say one more thing as far as fasting. Don't let everybody know that you're fasting. Keep it between you and the Lord. It tells you in Matthew 6, the Lord Yahushua himself made that mention. All right? You don't need to, you ain't got to tell nobody you haven't eaten. You know, you're amongst everybody, I haven't even eaten yet. Keep it to yourself. It's between you and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. You know? Cause that gives it more strength too, because it just shows more fit. You're not looking for any type of reverence for, man, oh wow, he been fasting since 2 days ago. Leave you and the Lord. No one gotta know. Nobody gotta know. You know? Oil up, you know, it shouldn't even look like you're fasting. You know, because you're standing on faith when you're fasting. You know, we're not trying to do this to be, prepped up by men. No, the angels are watching. You better believe. The angels are watching. The Lord's watching us, man. You know? The Lord's watching us. We don't need no green light from no man. Right? We need the Lord to give us the green light. Is what we need. You know, so fasting, if you want your fasting prayer to be powerful, don't let nobody know you're fasting. Keep it a secret. I just want to throw that out there through the spirit. You know, keep it to yourself. No one got to know that you're fasting. No one got to know. No one, you ain't got to even give a hint. You know what I mean? No, you're hungry. Keep it a secret. But I'm going to leave it there. And there's strength in that, you know. Fat, and the Lord Yahweh Shai mentioned in Matthew 6. We're not supposed to be advertising the fact that we're fasting. You know, you take away the validity, the power from it. You know, but needless to say, I'm going to leave it there, beloved Akiyam and Akwa. And Lord willing, you know, you were edified again. Abaratazah, you were spiritually fed and informed, you know, through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the true and all living power, man. The true living power of all heaven and all earth, man. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachak Kwadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwad, Lord willing, till next time. Hey, Shalom.